Good evening, everyone. Welcome back to SOL Edu Migration Teens Migration Show tonight. So tonight I will be talking about something a little bit different compared to previous episode. For tonight's migration show, I will be mainly focusing on study for migration with nursing program. So if you are interested to study nursing in Australia, please have a look at tonight's video. So before I start, as usual, for those who are the first time to join our migration show, I would like to give you a little bit about our company. So we are SOL Edu and Migration. This year will be our 20th year in the industry. Our main purpose is to assist international students to study and migrate into Australia. All right, so just some news updates for last week from 15th to 22nd of February. Some news update regarding study or migration in Australia. First of all, on 18th of February this year, which is like last week, the Department of Home Affairs has extended the 485 eligible 485 visa holder who have been offshored from 1st of February 2020 to 15th of December 2021. If you have like just one day during this period that you are not in Australia and your visa, your 485 visa expires before 30th of September this year, they have sent an automatic email to your email address and extend your 485 visa until 30th of September this year to give you enough time to come back to Australia and apply for a replacement visa from 1st of July this year. So this is the first breaking news for last week. Secondly, for on 21st of February this year, Australia has fully opened the border to everyone, to every eligible visa holders if they have been fully vaccinated, including tourist visa, student visa, or temporary visa holders, including the bridging visa B visa holder as well. So from 21st of February 2022, if you are fully vaccinated visa holder, then you can travel to Australia freely. So this is the second update. And number three, most universities in Australia will commence their semester one for this year in recent 2 weeks. So a lot of universities are starting their semester one on this Monday, next Monday, or next Monday. So prepare yourself to study for semester one. If you have any question about study or migrating into Australia, just feel free to contact SOL Edu and Migration with different social media platform or just comment in the YouTube channel, then I will be able to answer your question, okay? So let's get started about tonight's topic, study for migration episode one. So in the coming weeks, I will be talking about different popular options, study options, which will be beneficial for your PR pathway later in Australia. And for the first episode, I will be talking about nursing program. So before I talk about nursing program, I will talk about some comparison between vocational studies and higher education studies in Australia, because Australia is quite famous for both vocational studies and higher education studies. And some popular courses, which I will talk it 1 week by 1 week later on. And the first episode will be nursing, and the second one will be vocational courses, cookery, and the entry requirements, how you can get into the program in Australia, either for vocational or for higher education, and some school recommendations for the nursing program, and what would be the PR pathway after graduation from the PR from the nursing program. And I will have a live Q&A section. If you have any question about studying nursing or just general questions about study or migrating into Australia, just feel free to comment in our YouTube channel. Then I can answer your question during our Q&A section. Okay, so what's the difference about vocational and higher education studies in Australia? So Australia has been very famous for both sector, for vocational and higher education. And each international student's background is quite different. You may have a bachelor degree back in your home country, or you just a fresh graduate from high school at your home country, and you might have a certain amount of budget to spend in Australia for your further studies or for living in Australia. So each one's background is quite different. So we prefer contact us to do an one-to-one counseling. Let us know more about your background, your budget to study in Australia. Then we can provide the most professional advice to you, whether you should choose a vocational pathway or higher education pathway. Okay, so this is just some general information about vocational and higher education, but I will give you more details about for vocational studies in Australia. Normally, it will start from certificate course to advanced diploma or associate degree. So from certificate to advanced diploma, this will be vocational sector in Australia. And normally, the entry requirement for English, it will range from IELTS 5.0 to IELTS 7.0. So this is the English requirements, depending on which course, which area you are interested in and you would like to apply for. This is for English language requirements. For academic requirement, what we call qualification requirements, if you're planning to study a certificate 3, 4, then you will normally need a year 10 or year 11 equivalent to Australian standard. Or if you're planning to study diploma, then normally you will need to have a year 12 qualification. If you would like to study advanced diploma, then normally you will be required to have a diploma equivalent qualification from your previous background. So this is the qualification requirements to get into the vocational studies in Australia. And normally for the vocational studies, they will consist of some practical components. It can be 200 hours, or it can be 360 hours, or it can be 400 hours, depending on the provider and your chosen area. So let's say for cookery program, it is one of the most popular discipline within the vocational sector. So some of the school providers, they will have guaranteed 360 placement hours. But of course, if during your studies you can find your own employments or you can find your own internship, you are more than welcome to do your own placements or your own paid job. So this is one of the characteristics of the vocational studies. And for higher education, normally in Australia, it will range from bachelor degree, bachelor honors degree, master degrees, and PhD degrees. But between the bachelor to master, they have some unique qualification in Australia, which is also in the higher education level, which is the graduate certificate and graduate diploma. So this is the qualification type for higher education in Australia, from bachelor to PhD. And the English language requirement, normally it ranges from IELTS 6 to IELTS 7.5, depending on your chosen area as well. So let's say for most likely for the higher IELTS requirement are for those health-related programs or for teaching program in Australia. But for normal like business, IT, or engineering, normally they require IELTS 6.0 to 6.5 as the entry requirements. But each school, they have their own policy for the English language requirements. So if you're not sure which your chosen school was the IELTS requirement, just feel free to contact us. We will have a look and give you the advice. Okay, and for the academic requirement to get into higher education in Australia, if you're planning to study bachelor degree in Australia, then normally you will need to complete your year 12 equivalent in your home country or in Australia. Or if you have obtained a diploma or advanced diploma, you can also do the pathway into bachelor. Or if you would like to get into a master degree in Australia, then normally they will require you to have a bachelor degree equivalent to the Australian standards, because some countries, their bachelor degree are not recognized as the bachelor level in Australia. But if you don't have a bachelor degree, some universities in Australia, they do provide the bridging program, what we call pre-master program or MQP program, master qualifying program, to give those with an advanced or associate degree equivalent qualification at their home country to get into the master degree later on. So for PhD, if you're looking to study a PhD degree, then normally you will be required to have a bachelor honors equivalent to Australian standard or a master degree in Australia or equivalent to your home country to get into the PhD. But PhD is a little bit different. You normally need to have a proposal. What would be your research area? And you need to find a supervisor that within the same area and will be happy to supervise you for your PhD degree. So this is for PhD. And normally, for most of the courses, they don't have the placement component. But of course, for some specific area, like say for nursing, for engineering, or for some health-related disciplines, they do have the placement or internship component within the higher education program. So this is more specific comparison between vocational studies and higher education studies in Australia. And now I would like to share some popular courses in two different sectors. So for vocational sector, the most popular ones that we normally receive inquiries are cookery program, carpentry program, engineering draft person program, early childhood education and care program, telecommunication program, hospitality like hotel management or hospitality management program in diploma level, or construction, building and construction are always popular as well. And some are looking for the automotive program. So these are the most popular programs in vocational sector. For higher education, actually, it covers a lot of different industries and a lot of different disciplines, but I'm showing you the most popular ones, and most universities in Australia are offering these disciplines, including business, information technology, engineering, health, education, and design. So these are the kind of most common or popular programs within the higher education sector. And now I would like to show you what would be the career outcome after completing the vocational degree or higher education degree. So for vocational sector, for cookery program, the career outcome will be either a chef or cook. This is either a cook or chef for cookery program. For carpentry, it will be carpenter or cabinet maker. So this is for carpentry. For engineering jobment, so it will be job person depending on your specialization. Some can be like civil engineering job person, some can be mechanical engineering job person. Depends on your chosen area, okay? And for ECEC, for early childhood education and care, it will be early childhood educator, early childhood worker, or childcare center manager, okay? For telecommunication, it will be telecommunication network planner. This is quite unique. Not many colleges or schools in Australia are offering this program. This is quite unique, and it also gives you the PR pathway after graduation. And for hospitality related, it will be restaurant or hotel manager. For construction, it will be builder or construction manager. And for automotive, it will be motor mechanic. So this is for the vocational sector. What will be the career outcome after completing your vocational studies? And for higher education studies, actually the career outcome will be more because under each big discipline, they still have a lot of different specializations. Let's say for business, that you can become an accountant, you can be a marketing specialist, you can be a human resource advisor or financial planner, or even superannuation planner later on, depending on your major. For IT related, they also have like more than 10 or 20 different occupations that are related to information technology, including programmer, software engineer, multimedia specialist, or business and analyst. So there will be a lot of different career options after completing your IT degree. And for health, it is also a huge discipline. They cover a lot of different majors, but the most popular ones will be registered nurse, enrolled nurse, medical practitioner, physiotherapist, or occupational therapist. A lot of different career outcomes about the health discipline. For design, it can be a graphic designer, fashion designer, or interior designer. And for education, you can be an educator, or you can be the one working in the school, or you can be a teacher. But just be mindful for education in Australia, they very clearly differentiate about education and teaching. So when you choose your degree, just have a look whether the career outcome is led you to become a teacher or someone working in the education industry. This is very important and difference between Australia or some other countries. Okay, so this is about the career outcome for vocational sector and higher education sector. So for tonight, I would like to mention about the nursing program, the nursing courses in higher education sector, what courses are available in Australia, and can we recommend some school options for you? And yes, for nursing programs, it starts from diploma level for diploma of nursing to Bachelor of Nursing, Bachelor of Nursing graduate entry, or Master of Nursing. So for Bachelor of Nursing graduate entry, it is quite unique program in Australia. So it targets those students with a bachelor degree in disciplines other than nursing. So if you are a business graduate and you would like to study another degree in nursing, then you can choose the Bachelor of Nursing graduate entry because this program is for those without nursing background but already obtained a bachelor degree. And the Bachelor of Nursing graduate entry will have shortened period, which will be 2 years compared to a normal Bachelor of Nursing 3 years duration. So Bachelor of Nursing graduate entry, it will be only 2 years duration. And for the English language requirement, it will be the same for every university. They require you to have IELTS academic version with 7 in each band. 7 IELTS in each band, or PTE 65. However, for PTE, each school, their standard is a little bit different. So we need to check the school requirement for PTE, but for IELTS, it will be the same, 7 for each band for academic version. This is because the Nursing Board of Australia, they have set up this standard. So every school in Australia who would like to recruit for the nursing program, they will need to follow the guidance from the Nursing Board of Australia, okay? And the tuition fees, it will vary from 30K to around 40K per year in Australian dollars. So it also depends on schools, and probably some of the schools, they're offering some scholarships. So it will vary from 30K to 40K. And for some school recommendations, and majority of the schools, they are offering the Bachelor of Nursing programs. However, for the Bachelor of Nursing graduate entry or for the Master of Nursing program, not every university is offering. I listed several school recommendations, which are QUT, Queensland University of Technology, Monash University, the University of Queensland, the University of the Sunshine Coast, the University of Adelaide, and Flinders Universities. So these universities, the Bachelor of Nursing graduate entry or Master of Nursing programs, they don't have very strict prerequisite requirements in the health area. So let's say for all of these schools, they have kind of flexible entry requirement in terms of your academic background. So that's why I choose these schools to be recommended for tonight's show. And I will be talking about more details about 3 different universities offering the higher education program for nursing program. The first one will be Queensland University of Technology, which is based in Brisbane City. And they are offering the Master of Nursing program for every February intake. They are also offering the Bachelor of Nursing graduate entry program in July intake. But this July 2022 might be the last intake for Bachelor of Nursing graduate entry because they just introduced the Master of Nursing program. And they don't have any background requirements for your previous studies. So it can be business, IT, engineering, or health related. So this is the kind of advantage for the QUT program because they don't limit your background. But of course, you need to have completed a bachelor degree already either in your home country or in Australia to get into the master degree or the Bachelor of Nursing graduate entry stream. Okay, the tuition fees for QUT for Master of Nursing, it will be around 34,300 Australian dollars per year, and this is the summary of the program for QUT. Second one is for University of the Sunshine Coast, which is a regional university. So you will have more points in terms of the skill migration. But for those who are not sure, not aware of the skill migration studies, then you can have a look at one of my previous teens migration show, which I focus on the skill migration part. Then you will have more ideas about why regional studies can give you more points. Okay. And the University of the Sunshine Coast, they are offering the Bachelor of Nursing Science graduate entry, which is only 2 years duration. They don't require you to have any background, but they're very popular. So for the July intake this year, they're already full. So if you would like to apply for the Bachelor of Nursing Science program at the University of the Sunshine Coast, you need to action quickly and you need to apply early compared to other schools. And as I mentioned, Sunshine Coast is a regional campus, and you will have 5 extra points for your skill migration point test. And the tuition fees at USC, it is around 29,000 per year. This is for USC. And the last one I would like to recommend is Monash University, which is a group of A university. So if you're looking for some university with high ranking, then Monash University may be the one that are suitable for you, because their Master of Nursing Practice program, they do have some requirement for your background, but they are providing a short online course, which is the Human Biology and Anatomy program, which is around 96 study hours. That after completing the program, the online studies, then you can get into the Master of Nursing Practice program if you don't have related background for your previous studies. And it is a group of 8 universities, and the tuition fees for Monash University, it will be around 41,000 Australian dollars per year. So this is the snapshot of some school recommendations that are offering nursing programs in higher education sector, and most likely at the graduate entry level or the master level. Okay, so what you need to do after completing your nursing program if you like to obtain permanent residence in Australia. So basically, normally international students will study the nursing program while they are on the student visa. I would say most, because some of the students, they might on a temporary resident visa that allow them to study as well. So after studies, that normally international student will apply for the graduate visa, which is the 485 temporary graduate visa, with 2 to 5 years duration. So the range is quite long, quite large. For bachelor graduates, normally they will be granted a 2 years duration for the 485 visa. For master graduates, they will be granted a 3 years duration of the 485 visa. But if you choose to study in a regional area of Australia, so in Australia, regional areas are cities apart from Brisbane, Sydney, or Melbourne. So all other cities, they have regional areas, including Adelaide, Canberra, or Perth. They are all regional areas. But the Department of Home Affairs specify more detailedly about regional center and regional area. So for those who study in really regional campus, they will be able to have extension for the 485 visa for another 2 years. But if you are studying in some I can't say big cities, but cities, but are defined as regional, that you will be extended for 1 year for the 485 visa. So this is the second step. After completing your nursing program, you will be applying for the graduate visa, and then you will need to do the registration with the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia, and then you will need to do the skill assessment if you're looking for the skill migration options, because skill assessment is one of the basic requirements if you're looking for the skill migration. and then you can apply for skill-related visas or the TSS. TSS is the temporary skill shortage visa, which is related to the employer sponsorship. If you can find a employer in your nominated area. So this is kind of steps after graduation from a nursing degree, what you need to follow if you would like to get a permanent residence in Australia later on, okay? And I just want to mention, if any of the audience, if you have any question about studying in Australia or migrating in Australia, just feel free to comment in our YouTube channel. Then we can answer your question during the Q&A section. Okay, so this is the steps. Now, this is about registration requirement. So for registration, it's governed by Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia. And this is one of the branch among the APRA. APRA is AHPRA. This is the health professional body that governs every health professional's registration in Australia. And for registered nurse, it is governed by the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Australia. And you need to satisfy different requirements. First of all, you need to have an approved bachelor or master degree related to nursing if you would like to register as the registered nurse. And you need to satisfy the English language skills. And for number 3, for specific registered nurse specialization, like it might be critical care, or it might be aged care, or it might be emergency. So for registered nurse, they have a lot of different categories depending on your working experience. This is more for skill assessment side. So for registration, you can be like just passing your degree for your bachelor or master, and then pass the English language requirements. For English language requirement, they do accept 3 different pathways. Pathway 1 is for those who have 5 years education in recognized English-speaking countries. Let's say if you completed your 3 years bachelor and 2 years master in Australia, then you can pass this pathway. You can use this pathway to pass the requirements. And for second pathway is you have IELTS 7 in each band or PD 65 in each band in a single test. Then you can also satisfy the English language requirements. For those who have they really close to reach the IELTS 7 in each band or PD 65 in each band, then they can combine 2 tests. So this one is a bit complicated. So let's have a look at the details. First of all, let's say for IELTS, you need to from 1 test sitting or maximum 2 test sitting in 6 months period only. So let's say if you have taken 1 IELTS test on 1st of January 2022, and the result is 7 overall, but the speaking is only 6.5. For other 3 components, you have achieved 7 already, but you miss 1 component, but you have undertaken another IELTS test within 6 months. Let's say on 1st of May 2022, you have achieved 7 for speaking, but 6.5 for writing. But overall is also 7. Then you can combine 2 different tests within 6 months to satisfy the English requirements. But we have more details here. You need to achieve a minimum overall score for 7 for each test, and you need to have combining 2 tests, you have achieved minimum score 7 for each component. So you achieve writing 7 for the first test, but for the second test, your writing is 6.5, but you have 7 for speaking, but for first time, you have only 6.5 for speaking. Then if you satisfy all these 3 different criteria, then you can also use pathway 3 to satisfy the English language skill requirements for meeting the registration requirement from the nursing board, okay? Also, after registration, then it will be very easy. As long as you have the general registration from Nursing and Midwifery Board, then you can satisfy the skill assessment requirements. So this is quite easy, but they have 2 different bodies to do the registration and skill assessment. For registration, it will be Nursing and Midwifery Board. For skill assessment, it will be ANMAC, the Australian Nursing and Midwifery accreditation council. So this is what they call ANMAC, um, looking after the skill assessment for registered nurse. Okay, so this is the registration requirement and some specific information about the English language requirements for registration as a registered nurse in Australia. Okay, so after registration and skill assessment, what type of visa you can apply in Australia? So first of all, you might be eligible to apply for 189 skill independent visa, which require you to nominate an occupation on medium and long-term strategy skill list. So with just nurse, it is on the MLTSSL. It is a point test-based system. You need to satisfy the minimum 65 points for the skill migration point test, and you need to be under 45 years old. You need to have IELTS minimum 6 for each band, and then they will select based on the occupation they want and based on the points you have. So this is 189 visa, and it is kind of quarterly invitation. So they will select the candidate they want quarterly. For 190 and for 491 visa, it is what we call state nomination visas. For 190, it's a permanent residence visa. For 491, it is a skill regional temporary visa, which will be 5 years duration. And after 3 years from your visa grant for the 491 visa, you will be eligible to apply for 191 visa. If you satisfy the residency requirements as well as the income requirements, and you will be eligible to apply for 191 visa. So this is the PR pathway for 491 visa holder. And the other two options are for employer related. The first one will be for A2 TSS, the temporary skill shortage visa. And then the PR pathway will be 186 employer nomination scheme visa. So for A2 is a temporary visa. It will be valid for the duration your employer would like to sponsor you. Normally, for registered nurse, because it is on MLT-SSL, so it will be valid up to 4 years. And after 3 years of the 482 visa, you can apply for 186 under the TRT stream. So all of these visas are quite a long topic to talk, so I can't mention about all the these mentioned visas in details. But I have similar videos in my previous migration show. So if you are interested, just go to SOL Edu YouTube channel to have a look at my previous videos, and then you can have more information. Okay, so this is the visa options as the registered nurse after graduation. And this is all for tonight for about studying nursing in Australia. But I would like to also mention about what's the difference if you would like to apply school by yourself, or you would like to apply for a visa by yourself compared using an agent. So basically for us, we are the education and migration agent in Australia. For education agent, we are the first-hand agent with more than 200 different universities and schools in Australia, which can give you the first-hand updates and school requirements or any scholarship availability. We can directly contact the school to get the information. This is first one. Secondly, we have been in the industry for 20 years, and we are the top education agent for a lot of universities, including the University of Queensland, the Queensland University of Technology, Griffith Universities, and TAFE Queensland. We are the top agent for these kind of universities and TAFE for many years. And for migration parts, we have 4 registered migration agents in the team in our SOL migration company. And then we can provide the first-hand migration updates, because for migration it's a bit different compared to school application, because migration policies and regulation, they update quite frequently. They might update monthly or quarterly or half year. If you are not the experts in this area, you might miss the information. So as the registered migration agent, we are also the member of the Migration Alliance, Migration Institute of Australia, which are the professional bodies that could provide us the first-hand information about any migration updates. So this is the first benefit of using a registered migration agent. Secondly, normally or most likely most of the visas in Australia, they need to apply online on email accounts, and they have a lot of different questions. If you have no idea about which question, which answer you should put, then you might get your visa refused. But for us as the registered migration agents, we have a lot of experience in dealing with different type of visa applications, so we know which question we should put which answer. And then this is for the second benefit. And number three, for as I mentioned, most of the visa applications will be done online, and the Department of Home Affairs may request further document or further information to you via email. So if you don't check your email regularly, then you might miss the email from the Department of Home Affairs, and you might miss the deadline, which will result in your visa refusal as well. But for us as a registered migration agent, we check our email daily, so we won't miss any of your information from the departments if they're asking for more information or more documents, okay? And lastly is about why using SOL Edu Migration. Okay, so as I mentioned, we have a large team here. We have like colleagues from 10 different countries that we speak different languages. We speak Korean, we speak Mandarin, we speak Cantonese, we speak Thai, we speak Vietnamese, we speak Hindi, we speak Spanish, we speak Portuguese, and of course, we speak English. So no matter which nationality you are, um, if you speak one of these language, our colleague will be able to help you to assist you in your native language. And we have free initial counseling for visa. If you're looking for migration paths, that we are offering free initial counseling. Just go into solmigration.com to book your first initial counseling for free. And for school application, we don't charge any service fees. We will do the school application for free to you. But of course, some universities in Australia, they do charge 100 to 150 application fees, but this is payable to the university, not to us. For school application, we don't charge any service fees, okay? So this is a benefit of choosing SOL Edu and Migration as your agent to plan your studies or to apply the visa for you to come to Australia or study in Australia or to stay in Australia permanently, okay? So now I would like to move on to Q&A section if you have any question about study and migrating into Australia. Just feel free to type in the comments on our YouTube channel. And for those who haven't subscribed our YouTube channel yet, just like and subscribe our YouTube channel and put on the notification so don't miss every of our migration show, or if we have any new video released, then you will receive the notification about study and migrating into Australia. All right, so that's the end of tonight's show. If you have any question later on, just feel free to contact SOL Edu Migration. You can search on Facebook, search on YouTube. You can go to our website, and you will see the contact details of our different accounts, social media accounts, or different email or contact number. Or if you are currently in Brisbane, just feel free to visit us. For our two offices, we have one office based in Brisbane City, which is level 226 Albert Street, just the second floor above McDonald in Brisbane City. The other office is in Sunnybank office, which is offering Mandarin supports to Mandarin speaking students. So the address is level 18 Zamia Street in Sunnybank area. So feel free to come to our office if you would like to do in-person counseling. And I will see you in 2 weeks' time, which will be on 9th of March, that I will come back for the Teens Migration Show. See you next time.